Sex experts have come up with tips for getting ready for anal. With the right lube, anal sex can be great. When I was in college, I first thought about how to get ready for anal sex. At the time, I was with my first real boyfriend, who was also my first real love and the man I thought I would be with forever. When I was 21, everything was kind of do or die. A few of my friends had tried anal sex, but I judged them for it because I didn't know any better. What can I say? I was 21 at the time, and 15 or so years ago, anal was still a big no-no. It wasn't something I was interested in, so I swore I'd never do it. Like Charlotte York in Sex and the City, I had no plans to become an up-the-butt girl. Then my boyfriend, my sweetheart, my first love, the one I thought I'd be with until I died, brought up anal sex, and my thoughts started to go there. Should he and I go out and explore this new area together? If I were to do it with anyone, it would be him. So, because I was young and in love, I tried anal sex one night, even though I was afraid of pain and poop. It was not fun. Don't worry, my next experiences with anal sex were much better, and now I love it. Today, anal sex is more common than ever. In 2016, the CDC's National Health Statistics reports found that 35.9% of women and 42.3% of men had tried anal sex at least once in their lives. However, this kind of sex act is still considered very taboo. Because of this, many people don't get the right information they need to get ready for anal sex, let alone have fun with it, which you should do. Here are 11 tips for getting ready for anal sex, so no one is surprised by anything sexual. 1. Learn something. One of the first things you should do to get ready for anal sex is to learn about it, let go of any shame you might have about it, and roll your eyes at the taboo. Because it's old news that anal isn't new. The Moche were an ancient Andean people who lived in Peru from 100 CE to 700 CE. They left behind pottery and other artifacts that mostly showed images of anal sex. Even before that, people in ancient Greece and Rome did it all the time. Caligula, the third Roman emperor, had a reputation for being a hedonist when it came to sex and pleasure. This makes it easy to make fun of him, but the truth is that all kinds of sex, including anal sex, were socially acceptable at the time. If it used to be normal, we can make it normal again by having it and not being embarrassed about it. 2. Use lube all the time. Before we talk about anything else about anal sex, anal play, butt plugs, or anything else like that, we can't stress enough how important lube is for getting ready for anal sex. Lube is a must, and silicone-based lubes will eventually ruin silicone toys. Water-based lubes are best for silicone toys. There are some things to remember about the anus, says Lauren Dorleek, CEO and co-founder of Climax, an educational video series that teaches people, especially those with vulvas, how to enjoy pleasure without shame. Unlike the vagina, the anus doesn't keep itself moist on its own. Without lubrication, friction can cause small tears, which can make it more likely that an STI will be passed on. Lubricants can make anal play more fun and protect sensitive tissues. Researchers have found that HIV and hepatitis are most likely to spread this way. People can live with both of these viruses, and HIV isn't the death sentence it used to be just a few decades ago. However, it's better to avoid STIs in general, and that should be your goal every time you have sex. 3. Relax and breathe. When it comes to anal sex, the two main things that come up in conversations with experts and friends are pain and poop. We'll talk about poop later. And, to be honest, if anal sex isn't done right, it can hurt like hell. Lube is the most important part of any kind of anal penetration, but so is relaxing. When you're worried, angry, or stressed out, your pelvic floor and internal anal muscles tighten up, says Alicia Sinclair, CEO, and founder of Couture, a sex toy company that makes the Wand, B-Vibe, and the Cowgirl brands. It's the same instinct that makes cats and dogs tuck their tails between their legs when they're scared. This is why someone who is always angry is sometimes called a tight ass. It is true. In other words, take it easy. Some people find their center by taking deep breaths and keeping an open mind. For some people, and this has worked for me, anal sex is sublime after an orgasm when I've pretty much melted into a pool of butter. For others, the best way to calm the mind and body is to be fully aroused after a long time of pre-play. Do whatever it takes to put yourself in a state of relaxation. 4. Start with 1 or 2 fingers. Whether it's vaginal penetration or anal penetration, you should work up to it so it doesn't catch you off guard. You can start by exploring the anal opening with your fingers and learning how the anal sphincter works. By doing this, you not only find out how it feels, but also what feels good to you. Sinclair says that the first thing he tells people who are just starting is to play with their fingers. When you play with yourself, you can both give and receive, and you can control the depth and intensity of your play in a safe way. Sinclair says that this helps your body get used to these feelings and gives you a sense of what it will be like when someone else is doing an anal play with you. 5. Give anal toys a try. We're lucky to live in a time when anal sex is more accepted and there are lots of sex toys for the anus to choose from. From different sized and shaped anal beads to butt plugs, all of these toys can be used to train your anal opening for what's to come. After all, the anal sphincter is kind of the wall you need to get through, and lube and relaxation make it easy to do so. If you liked anal fingering, you might feel ready to try anal penetration with a butt plug, anal beads, etc., says Dorleek. In Climax Season 2, we tell you how to get your body ready and show you in explicit videos the best ways to put the toys in, play with them, and get the most pleasure out of them. When you combine these lessons with B-Vibe butt plugs, like their Snug plugs, which come in sizes 1 through 6, with Snug Plug 6 weighing 515 grams, just over 1 pound, and being one of the heaviest butt plugs in the world, you are getting ready for full anal preparation. But it's important to note that even though Snug Plug 6 is a great butt plug, it's something you can work toward if you want. One's first anal toy should be a small one, like the Snug Plug 1 and or 2, or the Rimming Plug Petite. These toys vibrate just enough to relax and please the sphincter. A good trick would be to wear butt plugs a few hours before having anal sex to get the tissues ready for bigger objects or penis, says Dorleek. This method helps relax the sphincters, which is important for anal penetration. 6. Communicate. As with all sex acts, the most important thing is to talk. You need to be honest about your experience, whether you're talking to yourself by being aware of your wants and limits or talking to your partners. If you're worried at first, say so. If there isn't enough lube when you start, say so. Say something if the butt plug doesn't feel good. If all this getting ready for anal sex isn't what you want, tell your partner. Not everyone likes anal sex, just like not everyone likes oral sex, and not everyone likes penetration of any kind. Because human sexuality is so complicated, not everything will work for everyone. And there is not a single thing wrong with that. 7. Don't try to sit like a dog on your first try. When it comes to anal sex positions, what feels good to one person might not feel good to another. Dorleek says that the best way to find out what feels good is to try different things, whether you're alone or with a partner. Dorleek says that trying out different positions can help you find some very pleasurable experiences. To play by yourself, try lying on your back with your knees up to your chest or getting down on your hands and knees and reaching one arm around behind you. Sinclair suggests rider on top if you have a partner, aka a cowgirl position. Sinclair says that it's a great way for the receiver to be in charge of the depth and intensity when playing with a partner who has a penis or is wearing a strap-on. Lying on your back with a pillow under your bum to slightly raise it is a great way to play with a toy, your fingers, or someone face to face. The butt is also easier to get to because of its height. Sinclair says that the first time someone has anal sex, they shouldn't try doggy style because it's easy for the giver to go too deep, too fast. However, there are ways to avoid going too deep and too fast. out can be helpful whether you're having anal sex for the first time or the 100th time. It limits the depth of penetration both vaginally and anally. It also lets you play in other positions, especially when you don't want too much depth. 8. Stop talking about poop, and I mean this with love. I'll be the first to say that it's not easy to get over the poop thing. When a partner told me that if you're going to have anal, I should expect to poop every once in a while, I felt better. When he said, "What's the big deal if there's a lot of crap?" Even though that made me feel better, it didn't take away all of my fear. But he was right, if you do anal play, there can sometimes be feces involved, and it's totally fine to say OMG about it. Sinclair says, it's normal to worry about hygiene when butt play is going on. You should think about how much you know about your digestive system. For example, if you always go to the bathroom at the same time every day, you'll know when your rectum is full or empty and can plan your day around this. If you don't go to the bathroom often, or if you just want to be extra safe and clean, then an enema is for you. Not everyone is lucky enough to be able to go to the bathroom every day. Some people are on medicines that make them constipated, antidepressants. Others just don't eat foods that help them go to the bathroom regularly. But since it's your body, you know when to empty the lower part of the large intestine, near the rectum. Sinclair suggests using an enema about an hour before you start anal play if you know you're going to do it. Sinclair says, it's an easy way to make sure your experience is poop-free, and it often gives people the peace of mind they need to enjoy their experience. It's important to keep in mind that this is a human body, of course. Accidents happen, our digestive systems can be off one day, or we might play a little rougher than planned, so we might still poop. Have a plan B for times like these. Before you start, put down a dark towel and keep baby wipes nearby to make cleanup easy. 9. Having anal sex can lead to infections in the urinary tract. One of the most important things to know about anal sex is that going straight from anal penetration to vaginal penetration without cleaning up can lead to bacterial and urinary tract infections, among other problems. If you use a condom for anal sex, which is a good idea if you want to clean up easily, take it off or put on a new one for vaginal sex so you don't have to worry as much about getting an infection. A study looked at how unprotected anal sex caused UTIs, even when there wasn't any vaginal sex after anal sex. They found a link between the two. So much so that the study concluded that those with unexplained urological symptoms be questioned about their anal sex habits. Most UTIs are caused by E. coli, a bacterium that lives in the GI tract. 10. Don't try to hurt yourself more. No matter what kind of sexual acts or penetration you're doing, if it hurts, makes you feel bad, or you just want to stop, speak up and stop it. Unless, of course, you're doing BDSM-related pain on purpose, but that's a whole other article. Don't try to push through the pain if you feel it at any point, says Dorleek. It's probably a sign that the angle, speed, or depth isn't right for your body at that time. You might need more lube, a smaller toy, or to stop doing an anal play for now. It's not the end of the world if you take a break and come back to it later. It's meant to be fun, and trying to push through the pain will do more harm than good. 11. Practice aftercare. If you did it and had anal sex for the first time, it's time to take care of yourself afterward. Even though aftercare is often associated with the BDSM community, it is important after every session, especially if it was something new. Aftercare is a good way to relax after anal sex and talk about what you liked and didn't like and what you'd like to try in the future. Dorleek says that everyone can enjoy anal play, no matter their gender or sexual orientation. We all have a butt, after all. Because of this, everyone can be taken to such pleasurable heights that when we crash, aftercare isn't just the cherry on top of an amazing experience, it's also the perfect bookend to what you just explored with your partner.